Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with probably one of the more serious videos that I will ever approach as far as the Foreigner Reacts videos that I'm trying to get this series started for. Guys, make sure you subscribe, notify, check out everything listed in the link in the description area below, and let's go ahead and make this happen. Okay, in today's video, foreigners, you have been warned. Foreigners, this shit is real. Guys, do not overlook this particular situation. The title of the article reads, HIV cases soar in the Philippines as dating apps spread. So the spread of the disease known as HIV is spreading based on the fact that dating apps are becoming relevant in the Philippines. Again, we are all well aware of the certain social media applications and dating apps that are available in the Philippines, but apparently this article is going to give us the justification as to why these apps are helping to spread the disease of HIV. Yes, it sounds dramatic, but I think we all need to lend a listening ear. I will be posting the link in the description, okay? So it says the estimated number of new infections with the virus that causes AIDS, which is HIV. Many of you guys know that HIV is what is known as a precursor or something to AIDS. So HIV kind of leads into AIDS, okay? And it says that HIV has more than doubled over the past 5 years in the Philippines. Okay. It says HIV is spreading faster in the Philippines than anywhere else in the world. The estimated number of new infections in Southeast Asia, in the Southeast Asian nation, has more than doubled from 2013 to 2018, reaching an epidemic proportions among young men, according to the United Nations. Okay. The surge in the virus that causes AIDS stands out against the decline in the estimated worldwide infection. So it's declining in the world, but increasing more specifically in the Philippines. Let's read on. Determining the cause can be difficult and inevitable, and it does involve some guesswork among epidemiologists seeking the answers. But health advocates think a major driver has been dating applications, which have encouraged promiscuity in a country where traditional social norms have kept people from using contraceptions and learning about responsible sexual practices. Guys, this shit is so on point right now. It's sending chills through my spine. Think about it. We've talked about it on time and time again on many different occasions. The Philippines is a country that does not really believe in the use of condoms, does not really believe in the use of protecting themselves. So imagine if social media applications or dating applications become popular in the country where, you know, protecting yourself is not the norm. Again, normally you would think that condoms goes against the norm, because other than women who work in an industry such as, you know, freelancing or working in bars and stuff, you're very rarely going to come across a girl that absolutely requires you to wear protection. Unless you are a man with a brain of your own and you can think on your own, and you know, maybe I should probably wear a condom, you're not going to get any pushback from the young lady if you choose not to wear that. So again, make sure you take note of that. Again, article listed in the description area if you want to read it yourself. It says more than 3/4 of the 67,395 people diagnosed with HIV in the Philippines between 1984, when the first infection surfaced, through May of this year, were diagnosed in the past 5 years. 3/4 in the last 5 years were diagnosed since the first person was diagnosed in 1984. Damn. Some 96% of people diagnosed over this 5-year period contracted the virus after a sexual encounter. Well, that's normally how you kind of get HIV, but okay. It says the vast majority were gay and bisexual men. Shit. Now we get a little bit deeper. Okay. I'm going to give my thoughts on this in just a second. I've made a video on this, but I'll tell you. Again, it reads, the vast majority were gay and bisexual men between the ages of 15 and 34. The government doesn't report how people met their partners, but patients, doctors, epidemiologists, and activists said in an interview that most of them were online. Some guy talked about it. He's a social media influencer. You can read about his story if you want to. There's some graphs you can check out. It says millions of young Asians have come online in recent years thanks to low-end smartphones. Yeah, smartphones in the Philippines are cheap. Cheap data plans and intuitive apps that allow easy navigation despite poor literacy. In the Philippines, a conservative Catholic country, mind you, the internet has empowered the gay community to find support online while making it easy to date the same gender for the first time. The newfound social freedom has collided with a lack of sex education. I made a video about that, did a live stream about that, HIV screening, and until recently, a preventive drug given to high-risk groups. Jesus Christ. It gets better. Lawmakers responded to this epidemic this year by passing a bill that encourages sex education in schools and lowers the legal age for HIV screening to 15 from 18. So now it used to be 18 for the screening. Now it's 15. This shit gets crazy. You guys have got to read the whole story, man. I wanted to touch on those particular points that I found to be absolutely important. It also mentions that heterosexual encounters were a predominant mode of HIV transmission in the Philippines between 1984 and 2007. When the trend shifted to men having sex with men, some 84% of the new infections reported to the Philippines last year were among gay and bisexual men, according to government data, compared with 17% unAIDS estimated worldwide. Okay, they just tell the story. Gentlemen, I got something I need to say. I'm not going to read the rest of it because it's a pretty lengthy article, and I want you guys to check it out on your own, and I'm not going to spend the whole time reading it through and through. But let's talk about this. If there's one thing that pisses me off more than anything in this world as it relates to foreigners, okay, I am a firm advocate that you need to make a decision in life. Every man should be required to make a decision. If you want women, go be with women. If you want to be with men, go be with men. I could care less about your sexual orientation. Does not bother me one bit, okay? I've known people who are gay. I know women who are lesbians. I mean, that shit means nothing to me. Like I said, you love who you love. But once you on that team, you stay on that team, okay? That's my personal opinion. Once you pick a team, stay on that team. Because when you start this bisexual shit, and I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, but when you start this shit where you're dealing with men and then trying to deal with women as well, that's the type of shit that makes it uneasy for myself and a lot of other people, because that's how people spread HIV and AIDS and shit. Think about it. I can honestly tell you that I've never heard of a woman transferring the disease to another woman. Okay, I've never heard of it. Maybe I'm wrong. You can call me out on it if you believe that I'm inaccurate in that assumption, but I've never heard of a woman giving another woman AIDS. It's usually the man sticking his playing for both teams. That's the best way I'm going to say it. I'm not going to get too rated R with this one, but understand, it's mostly a man dealing with a man and then choosing to deal with women as well. Some of this down low shit, yeah, I like men low key, but I'm in a relationship or I'm married and, I like dealing with women. Two, that shit really complicates situations. And this applies to foreigners as well. It might be for the local guys too, but for the foreigners, I see you guys doing it too. I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. I mean, live your truth, man, and stick with your truth. The shit is really starting to, cause a problem. And as it relates to dating applications, in my personal opinion, that's true. I mean, the country is a very poor country, but they have low-end cell phones that really does allow internet access. Even though the internet in the country sucks, getting on these dating applications is relatively easy to find and meet women. Foreigners use it all the time to meet women in the Philippines. I mean, it's a go-to tool. These applications have made it easy for men to meet women. I know a guy personally who said he just gets on Tinder every now and again when he wants to hook up, and he just looks for a girl. He's like, hey, are you available to meet tonight? Blah, blah, blah. And the same rules apply anywhere in the world, I'm sure. But, more specifically as it pertains to the Philippines, what you want to do tonight? You good? Are you free? Let's get together, end up doing this thing. And, that's it. As it pertains to the use of condoms and stuff, I've had personal females look at me like I lost my mind because I choose to bring out one. They're like, what is that? People look at me like, oh, you must be dirty because you bring out condoms. You must, you must be having a lot of sex or some shit. Or, oh, do you think I'm dirty? All of these comments come about. Like, women are sometimes offended when you bring out condoms. I've told people time and time again, they ask you why. If any girl ever asks me straight up why I use condoms, it's because, look, I'm not trying to have kids right now. That's the main purpose. I'm not sitting here thinking that you're dirty. I'm not sitting here thinking that I'm dirty. You understand? I'm doing it simply because I want to make sure that we protect ourselves. And if you're not going to do it, I got to be the one to do it, right? And even then, I think HIV is not really something that is protected against, you know, I'm sorry, condoms can't really protect you against HIV anyway, so that's fucking irrelevant, if you correct me if I am wrong. You know, that's for your STDs and your venereal diseases and stuff that condoms are usually good for. So even wearing a condom doesn't protect you against HIV. So let me conclude with this before this shit gets too long-winded, okay? Make sure you're very picky and choosy about your partners, okay? Be very, very careful about your sexual partners. I understand you guys want to come to the Philippines and have the time of your lives. I understand you want to hook up with a bunch of girls. That means something to you. To some guys, not all guys, but it means something to you guys. This shit right here, low-key, has me scared. You understand? It makes me glad that I'm very, very, very cautious in my approach to dealing with certain women. Makes me glad about current situations that I'm in right now. It makes everything worth it for me, because you got to be able to trust who you with. I mean, if these girls are heavy on these applications and these guys that they're hooking up with are frequent because of how liberating the internet has become for the people, not the country itself, because again, it is a predominantly Catholic country, but because of how liberated the social media and things has made people in the country, it does scare me a little bit to see where things are to go in the future. And again, if you guys are in 100% agreement, you're like, Doc, I feel where you're coming from, man. I think this is something we really need to advise other people on, and this is a message that we need to hear. By all means, leave it down in the comment below. Let me know if you agree or disagree about what's been said in here. I mean, the stats are there for you to read, but I want to know your thoughts on it. Leave it down in the comment section below and let me know. And with that being said, the good doc is officially out. At least Nicole, which means I'm going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.